If you are afraid of sharks, this video will only highlight that fear.
Got him out. Oh my gosh! Holy sh! Oh my God!
From getting a surprise visit by a shark to having one racing towards to bite you, these clips will make you grateful that you are on land. One of these behemoths even entered a shark-proof cage. Now that is wild. So hang on tight as we go through some of the most frightening clips of shark attacks and encounters ever. Without further ado, let's dive in. Number 1. Shark calling. This man seems to have a death wish. A couple of swimmers were swimming in the ocean, around a few thousand feet deep, with a plastic bottle in their hands. They were trying to start shark calling and to attract a shark with their crazy maneuver. But the bizarre thing is that it actually worked. The swimmer turned around just in time to spot the humongous shark coming his way. The diver acted instantaneously and kicked off the shark with his foot. The shark got one kick and swam away from the humans. Was that plain stupid or smart? You decide. Number 2. Shark almost sneaks inside the cage. This shark was too sneaky in its attack, and the divers will be thankful to have made such a narrow escape from the sea monster. A group of divers were trapped in the cage to witness the shark in its full grandeur, but they probably did not expect to be at the end of it. The shark took one glance at the group of divers and knew they were easy meals. It lashed at the cage at first, but when that did not work, it did something that sent the whole cage into a state of shock. The shark attempted to fit in through the gaps of the cage so that it could creep up inside. Luckily, the shark was too big to get inside the small gaps. This made the divers sigh a breath of relief for having escaped a big and deadly encounter. Number 3. Fisherman gets slammed by a shark. This fisherman was minding his own business, but there was something else that had its eyes on the fisherman. On a small kayak, this man had his legs out in the water as he played around with the bait to get a good hunt from the sea. But he had no idea that he was being spied on by a deadly predator. The shark got so focused on getting to the man that it slammed into the kayak, sending the fisherman in a state of panic. He immediately pulled his legs back up and waited for the shark to leave. You wouldn't want to become dinner when you are out hunting for good fish. Number 4. Down in a submarine. This footage is just terrifying. So this submarine was down in the depths of the ocean when it encountered an absolute beast. This is a massive, deep water shark that has gotten curious about the submarine. So it gets up close, even trying to get a few bites in. It gets so up close to the people inside, but the scariest part is when you can see its eyes. Did you notice that? Its pupils just rolled back into its head. Now that's scary. Number 5. A failed hunt. In this footage, we can see a fisherman minding his own business, but out of nowhere, a shark breaches the water's surface, and you can see a smaller fish barely escape its jaws. Seems like the shark will have to go hungry a bit longer.
Holy shit!
Number 6. Peekaboo. This insane shark encounter is enough to keep you hundreds of miles away from the ocean. In a floating cage, this man recorded one of the most terrifying shark encounters. The shark takes its sweet time as it revolves around the cage, putting the diver into a deadly eye lock. But when it attacks, it makes the enthusiastic diver shriek in delight. It is not the best reaction, but fear makes you do stupid things. The shark stares at its meal but is unable to find a good spot to attack. Finding a huge gap, it jams its head inside the cage. The gigantic face of the shark is enough to make you freeze, but this man is just happy to be spotted by the shark. Number 7. Shark brawls with a diver. In this unfair and crazy fight, a shark takes on a diver. The result is not what the crowd wanted either. A group of swimmers can be seen swimming dangerously close to the sharks. The terrifying predators do not pay much attention, but when the swimmers got too close, they had enough of the drama. One big shark swam straight to a diver and came at him from below. But when that didn't send the diver running with his feet backwards, the shark dived into a fight with him. The other swimmers came and tried to disengage the shark, but the damage had been done. Number 8. Shark hunts down the boat. This man was peacefully fishing on his boat until an uninvited guest paid a sneaky visit. This shark was lurking very close to the surface of the ocean. When the fishing boat came near, it saw its chance and dove right at the boat. It unleashed its huge teeth and jumped right at the tail of the boat. The shark tried a couple of times to get a hold of the driver, but they all went in vain. Luckily, the guy was smart. One look at the shark was enough to send this guy into flight mode. He rammed the engine on his motorboat and ran as far as he could in the opposite direction. Now that's what you call a normal reaction. Number 9. Shark surprises the swimmer. This deadly encounter with a shark will make you scream out of fear. Swimming in the ocean, this diver was careful of his surroundings, but he was not cautious enough. Receiving a warning about something lurking near him, the swimmer dives back inside the water to see who was the visitor. He is astonished to find the ferocious face of a shark staring back at him. Laced with fear, the guy jumps and flees as far as his legs would take him. Swimming at a full pace, he gets out of the ocean before the shark can take him down. Number 10. Shark leaps out of the ocean. If you want to see a shark sighting, the last place you would look is underneath you. This guy is out on the boat as he navigates his fishing pole for a good hunt. What he did not realize was that he would attract something much more ferocious. A shark leapt out of the ocean right underneath the fisherman and sent him shivering in fear. He dodges the shark just as it opens its gigantic mouth to take the fisherman down. Luckily, the guy was too far out of reach from the shark, otherwise it would have been a clean sweep. Number 11. Shark destroys the cage. Seeing this terrifying shark encounter is definitely not going to help with your fear of sharks. Trapped in a large cage, this diver wanted to get a glimpse of the sharks roaming around in the sea, and boy, did he get more than a glimpse. What he did not anticipate was the shark obliterating the cage to get to him. Within a few seconds, an 18-feet-long shark had already targeted him as its next meal. Seeing that it could not get inside the cage, the shark did something far worse. It leapt at one of the floaters and tore it apart. Now, the only thing that was keeping this cage floating was another floater. Had it been spotted by the shark, the cage would have sunk into the ocean. The diver's friends soon realized that the diver would be in grave danger, so they pulled him up. Had it been a few more seconds, either the cage would have sunk or it would have been a horrifying meeting with the shark. Number 12. Shark smacks the diver. This young man has no fear of life, and this video is here to prove it. A shark may be tiny, but that does not mean its attacks will be any less aggressive. When this small shark saw its chance, it did not leave any crumbs behind. It smacked its head with full force onto the diver's helmet. The result was not as the shark had expected, but it was still trying with all its might to tear down the glass. Although the shark's attempts were fierce, the diver clearly seemed unbothered by the attacks. He stays put as the shark continues with its rampage until it goes away to bother a more worthy prey. Number 13. Shark attacks fisherman. A fisherman was out in the ocean on a fishing expedition when he was met with a predator bigger than him. But don't fool yourself, because he was well prepared. He had a spear gun handy and was ready to take down any shark that attacked him. The only problem was that he had attracted a huge shark within seconds of his dive into the ocean. The shark was sneaky too. It tried to find a way to attack the fisherman, but he brought down his spear gun and hit the shark on its mouth. That did not stop the shark from attacking one more time. The diver knew it wouldn't budge, so he hit the shark again and swam away as fast as he possibly could. It was a narrow escape and a lucky one too. Number 14. Shark drops in to say hi. This shark popped inside the cage to greet the divers, but it left the group frozen in fear. Imagine going down in a protected cage inside the sea, only to find the shark's frightening teeth inches away from you. This is exactly what happened with these divers. While in the cage to get a glimpse of the shark, they received an encounter that they will remember their whole lives. The shark jammed its head inside the bars with its pointy nose and gigantic teeth, staring back at the divers. They all stood at the corner of the cage, shook with fear and crammed into each other, trying their best to be as far away as possible from the predator. Number 15. Knock knock. This shark really wanted in. These people are in a cage enjoying watching the sharks eat the baits, but then the unexpected happens. The shark starts chewing on the cage itself. It keeps biting and biting, leaving behind deep holes where its teeth penetrated the cage's poles. The shark goes at it for quite a while, trying to make the humans inside its next prey. The way the whole cage shakes with each bite must be super scary. But finally, it thinks it is too much effort and leaves. Number 16. Swimmer chased by a shark. Imagine going for a cliff dive and you are faced with a ferocious shark as soon as you hit the waters. That is exactly what happened with this poor swimmer. This man dived into the water in hopes of enjoying a good swim on a sunny day. Instead, he was met with something that would keep him away from the sea for good. When he got into the water, he had no idea a shark was lurking nearby, waiting to take down the next prey. He took one look at the shark, and it was enough to send him running with his feet backwards. The swimmer swam as fast as he could, but the shark was sneaky too. It tried to make several attempts at the man, but he was quick with his movements. After multiple close encounters, he finally made it out of the water and jumped head first onto the shore, away from the deadly monster that was hoping to make him its next meal for the day. Number 17. Shark pops up at the beach. At least you expect a predator like a shark inside the ocean, but what if it makes an entrance at the beach? In this terrifying clip, a shark as big as 10 feet was spotted at the shore. When the swimmers saw the big predator making its way to them, they jumped up and ran to the land for safety. There was just enough room to get them out of there in time. Otherwise, it would have been a battle no one could have prepared them for. One woman even got a panic attack when she realized how close the shark was to them. Number 18. A fleet of sharks attacked the boats. What is better than one shark? Yup, a whole bunch of them. Now that's a sight you don't want to see. With a great lunge in the water, these sharks tried their best to attack the people in the sea, but the swimmers got away just in time. Had it been a couple of seconds late, it would have been a mess made by the fleet of sharks. Number 19. Shark caught in the fishing line. There are many great finds at the end of a fishing line, but what will you do if one of those finds ends up being a shark? This fisherman's fishing line had caught something so fascinating that shook the entire boat with excitement: a huge shark. The predator got trapped in the line, and the men had to pull the gigantic monster with great force. But the sight was worth the energy they had put in, because there stood the deadly monster with its creepy face visible, enough to send a grown man into a state of panic. Number 20. Hammerhead caught while fishing. If you think you caught a huge fish, it is nothing compared to the find at the end of this fisherman's pole. The guys spotted a great hammerhead shark and could not help but lure it into the fishing line. As soon as it got trapped, the fishermen pulled it near the boat, and what they witnessed was nothing short of amazing. There lay a massive hammerhead shark that weighed at least 1,000 pounds. The fishermen cherished that moment for a long time before letting it go back into the ocean, a favor that the shark would not have returned.
That hammerhead shark, guys. He's gotta be cool. Dude, he's gotta be over 1,000 pounds. Over 1,000. Wow.
Number 21. Man scared off by a shark. This man had no idea that the bait on his fishing line would catch a find as big as this. In a deadly encounter, this man's fishing line was thrown out in the water while he sat on a very tiny kayak. He was explaining the fishing tactics that would best get his viewers a nice find. But what his fishing line caught was nothing that his tactics would have prepared him for. A shark came out of nowhere and popped its head out of the ocean, sending the fisherman almost in the water. He scrambled in fear as the shark surfaced out of the ocean, but balanced himself soon enough. If he had let himself loose in panic, he would have either been attacked at a very open angle or fallen off from a very tiny kayak. Luckily, the shark decided to go back into the water, and the fisherman immediately cut off the bait to keep the sharks away from him.
Got him out. Oh my gosh! Holy sh! Oh my God!
Number 22. Poking defense. These fishermen were diving for their hunt when a tiger shark took offense to their existence. It kept circling them and even charged them a few times. Maybe it wanted their catch, or perhaps even thought of the divers as its next meal. Wherever the case, these divers knew how to deal with a rowdy shark. They used their long sticks to keep the shark at a distance. They even had to swim after it, trying to make it leave. And so it realizes that people doing spearfishing are not easy food. Number 23. Tiger shark came too close. This has to be one of the closest encounters where a man was almost swallowed by a shark. The glider was on his way into the swim when he was met with a deadly sea creature. The tiger shark was inches away from him. It even tried attacking the swimmer, who had no clue that a day in the water could mean a near-death experience. The cage in the ocean saved the swimmer from a deadly encounter. A little change in its position would have given his legs to the sharks to keep. Number 24. Catching a shark. These adventurers had the best catch ever. They were able to catch a bull shark with just a hook and some fishing gear. As they drag the shark closer, you can see how massive it is. They even get super close to the shark, with the man petting the ferocious predator like a dog. Now that's courage. Finally, once they are done taking some pictures of their huge catch, the fishermen let it go free in the ocean. What a majestic catch it was. Number 25. Hammerhead attack. This hammerhead shark mistook these kayakers for its next prey. It first goes to one of the kayakers' boat and circles it, looking for an opportunity to attack. Then it moves on the second kayak and finally to our cameraman, where we get to see it close up. While the shark was not able to get any bites on the kayakers, the same cannot be said for their kayaks, which got bit a few times. Number 26. Shark gets inside the cage. It is one thing to try and get inside the cage, but this shark proved that it can be stopped by no one when its eyes are on the prey. In this scary clip, a shark was spotted by a group of people on the boat inside the cage. They were horrified to discover the protected cage having the very thing it was supposed to keep out inside. The people pushed the shark outside of the cage, and it scrambled away in panic as it dodged the sticks of the people. It swam away in a hurry, afraid that it was going to be caught by the humans. But what they discovered next was far more surprising. A diver emerged out of the cage a few seconds after the shark had left. The diver had somehow survived the horrible shark encounter while the two struggled to be inside the cage, both fighting for their lives. Number 27. A close call. This close encounter is not something the surfer had even anticipated when he got into the water. In this terrifying clip, the surfer spotted a huge shark making its way towards him. But he does the smart thing as he stays still and lets the predator pass by without attracting much attention. The shark peacefully went from under the board and then swam away, not expecting that prey was right above its head. A close call, indeed. Number 28. Close shark encounter. This couple was out for a swim, but what they were about to find in a few seconds was more than terrifying. The woman was swimming in the ocean while her husband filmed her. Suddenly, the man noticed too large of fins and immediately called his wife back to the boat. Not one, but two giant sharks were circling just underneath where the wife was swimming. A few seconds late, would have turned a simple swim into a huge tragedy. Number 29. Shark slaps the boat. In this unexpected encounter, the fisherman is faced with a deadly dilemma. A fisherman felt a pull on his fishing line as he pulled on it with force, anticipating a good find. When he got his prey to be near the boat, he found that it was a deadly shark. The shark fought with the fishing line and swam upwards, splashing water on the fisherman. It tried very hard to get free, but the hook was strong. So the fisherman decided to help the shark to get itself off the hook. Talk about guts! It gave a few slaps as the fisherman tried to help it, but in the end, the mission was a success. That's all on the deadliest shark attacks and encounters that will make you scared of the ocean. Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments and share with us what you want to see next. While you are at it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We will be bringing many more exciting videos for you to watch. Until we come up with our next upload, stay tuned and thanks for watching.